Aspire to inspire before we expire. True happiness involves the full use of one's power and talents. Happiness is contagious. When you are positive, people are naturally drawn to you. Mind reading is the sixth sense that requires the assistance of the other five senses, along with cognitive and perceptual abilities. We are subconsciously more attracted to people who have the same music taste as we do. Angry people produce more unique ideas faster than people in any other type of emotional state, according to a study. Those who are constantly accusing others are often the ones doing exactly what they are accusing others of doing. Keep that in mind. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Being sarcastic on a regular basis can add up to 3 years to your life. Sarcasm is extremely healthy for the mind. Subconsciously, it takes at least 6 to 8 months for the brain to process complete forgiveness for someone who hurt you emotionally. The good friend isn't necessarily the one who immediately understands. It's the one who cares enough to keep trying to understand. Pain alters our personality. Everyone has a story. There's a reason why they are the way they are. Avoid people who mess with your head. Intentionally and repeatedly do and say things that they know upset you. Expect you to prioritize them but refuse to prioritize you. Can't and won't apologize sincerely. Act like the victim when confronted with their abusive behavior. Psychologically, the more loving you are, the more painful it feels when a person fails to realize how much you care for them. The most miserable people are those who care only about themselves, understand only their own troubles, and see only their own perspective. We live in a generation that is highly skilled at allowing connections to fade away. Because of social media and cell phones, we think people are replaceable, and that's silly. You cannot replace the energy of someone who is genuine, especially if they are putting consistent effort out to be in your life. Appreciate them, cherish them. Those people are gold. Although I believe we were certainly made to live with and fellowship with other people, I also believe that everyone needs their own time. There may be people who have more talent than you, but there is no excuse for anyone to work harder than you do, and I believe that. I believe that every person is born with talent. Talent is born, not made. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. You can't change the circumstances, but you can change yourself. That is something you have charge of. You can change all things for the better when you change yourself for the better. Your life doesn't get better by chance, it gets better by change. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old but on building the new. Put your energy into building what is creative, valuable, and empowering, and you won't have to constantly fight against what is destructive and draining. Direct your energy toward achieving a goal and tackle the problems with an emphasis on edging closer to a successful result. Your energy is currency. Spend it well. Invest it wisely. Don't use your energy to worry. Use your energy to believe, create, trust, grow, and heal. Protect your energy. Your vibe is a gift and isn't meant for everybody. Trust the vibes you get. Energy doesn't lie. I don't trust words, I trust vibes. People can tell you anything, but a vibe tells you everything. Some come to your life as a blessing, others as a lesson. You will have an unexpected blessing this week. If I needed you and you weren't there, I'll never need you again. Lonely is not being alone, it's the feeling that no one cares. I have everyone even though I'm alone because everyone is not my only one. I'm not alone because loneliness is always with me. We hide to dry our feelings, but we forget that our eyes speak. A big part of depression is feeling really lonely, even if you are in a room full of 1 million people. It is that feeling when you are not necessarily sad, but just really empty. Depression is like a bruise that never goes away, a bruise in your mind. You just go to be careful not to touch it where it hurts. It's always there though. Depression doesn't take away your talents, it just makes them harder to find. When people don't know exactly what depression is, they can be judgmental. I think the saddest people always try their hardest to make people happy because they know what it's like to feel absolutely worthless and they don't want anyone else to feel like that. Depression doesn't take away your talents, it just makes them harder to find. People think depression is sadness, that it's crying and dressing in black. But people are wrong. Depression is the constant feeling of being numb. It's being numb to emotions, being numb to life. You wake up in the morning just to go back to bed again. If you know someone who is depressed, please resolve never to ask them why. Depression isn't a straightforward response to a bad situation. Depression just is like the weather. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. If your life changes, we can change the world too. Time changes everyone, but just hope it changes you for the good. People change, they grow. People want progress, but they don't want change. I don't often get a chance to have a frying pan in the show. Things don't change, only the way you look at them. You can't think about things you want to change, just be yourself. If you want to change the future, you must change what you are doing in the present. Simply with a change of mind, you can change your life. To change your reality, you have to change your inner thoughts. I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains. Beauty is the only thing that time cannot harm. Beauty is nothing without brains. Beauty is not having the fairest skin or prettiest face. It's about having the purest heart. Beauty is boring because it is predictable. Beauty comes naturally, but it's hard to be stunning by accident. Beauty and youth can stay inside, but it isn't outside. You have to destroy something to make it beautiful. You love the beauty that you can see and touch and handle, the beauty that you can destroy and do destroy. But of the unseen beauty of life, of the unseen beauty of a higher life, you know nothing. You are beautiful, yes, you are. You are very, very beautiful, extremely beautiful. Life is beautiful when you make it beautiful. What makes you different makes you beautiful. What sets you apart can sometimes feel like a burden and it's not. And a lot of the time, it's what makes you great. Sometimes the bravest and most important thing you can do is just show up. You can have anything you want in life if you dress for it. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. The most important thing is to enjoy yourself and have a good time. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Whether you can observe a thing or not depends on the theory which you use. It is the theory which decides what can be observed. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. The difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Don't be too honest in this world because straight trees are always chosen first for cutting. The tongue has no bones, but it is strong enough to break a heart, so be careful with your words. Always trust your gut. Your brain can be fooled and your heart is an idiot, but your gut doesn't know how to lie. Sometimes your heart needs more time to accept what your mind already knows. Never let anyone determine your self-worth. Never speak without listening. Never give up before you are ready. Never forget to breathe. Never settle for less than you deserve. Never dim your sparkle. Never complicate what you can simplify. Never make promises you can't keep. Never believe it's too late to begin. Whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you have come. Remember everything you have faced, all the battles you have won, and all the fears you have overcome. Remember how far you have come, not just how far you have to go. You are not where you want to be, but neither are you where you used to be. If it's meant for you, you wouldn't have to beg for it. You will never have to sacrifice your dignity for your destiny. You are what your deepest desire is. As is your desire, so is your intention. As is your intention, so is your will. As is your will, so is your deed. As is your deed, so is your destiny. It is your decisions and not your conditions that determine your destiny. Your destiny is determined by your decisions, not your conditions. To dominate your sector, your goal, dream, or ambition, you must first dominate your every interest, thought, and consideration. Don't let your current situation determine your final destination. Always remember that your present situation is not your final destination. The best is yet to come. In the battle of existence, talent is the punch, tact is the clever footwork. Don't flatter yourselves that friendship authorizes you to say disagreeable things to your intimates. On the contrary, the nearer you come into relation with a person, the more necessary do tact and courtesy become. Beware of allowing a tactless word, a rebuttal, a rejection to obliterate the whole sky. In the battle of existence, talent is the punch, tact is the clever footwork. Tact is the art of making people feel at home when that's where you wish they were. Tact is, after all, a kind of mind reading. Cultivate tact, for it is the mark of culture and as important as character itself. It is the lubricant of human relationships, softening contacts and minimizing friction. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Tact doesn't remove difficulties, but difficulties melt away under tact. Tact is good taste in action. Tact consists in knowing how far to go in going too far. Tact is the ability to step on a man's toes without scuffing the shine on his shoes. Indiscretion has always seemed to me to be one of the privileges of tact. Tact, the ability to describe others as they see themselves. Tact is the rare ability to keep silent while two friends are arguing and you know both of them are wrong. The truly free man is he who knows how to decline a dinner invitation without giving an excuse. Tact is the art of building a fire under people without making their blood boil. Tact consists in knowing how far we may go too far. People with tact have less to retract. Beware of allowing a tactless word, a rebuttal, a rejection to obliterate the whole sky. Tact is the art of recognizing when to be big and when not to be little. Tact is the ability to make a person see lightning without letting him feel the bolt. Visionaries not only believe that the impossible can be done, but that it must be done. Every child deserves a champion, an adult who insists that they become the best they can possibly be. We thrive not when we have done it all, but when we still have more to do. We have to be willing to fail, to be wrong, to start over again with lessons learned. Our challenge is to find the compassion for others that we want them to have for us. Social change is not going to come from just knowing more information, but from doing something with it. One of the greatest gifts you can give another human being who is going through adversity is hope. Empathy is more powerful than hate, and our lives should be dedicated to making it go viral. The laws are ours, and no matter what your ethnicity, nationality, gender, or race, they belong to us. As long as they are well intentioned, mistakes are not a matter for shame but for learning. To understand one thing well is better than understanding many things by halves. Any human who understands the problems of running a home will be nearer to understanding the problems of running a country. Revelation doesn't depend upon grandiose concepts. The problem of the artist is to defamiliarize the ordinary. Leaders are visionaries with a poorly developed sense of fear and no concept of the odds against them. Vision without action is daydream. Action without vision is nightmare. Vision without execution is delusion. Be a visionary, focused upon your ability to create your desires within your reality. A name given to successful people who didn't listen when they were called delusional. Visionaries see the impossible as the inevitable. A true visionary shows me their vision with their actions. Visionaries look into the future and see things not through the lens of current reality, but through the lens of future possibilities. The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that is too low and we reach it. The visionary starts with a clean sheet of paper and reimagines the world. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. The secret to success is good leadership, and good leadership is all about making the lives of your team members or workers better. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, "We did it ourselves." I am very excited to be supporting one of the world's most visionary efforts to seek basic answers to some of the fundamental questions about our universe and what other civilizations may exist elsewhere. There is some advantage in having imagination, since that visionary faculty opens the mental eyes to facts that more practical and duller intellects could never see. A visionary is a leader of excellence who sees what others do not see, who achieves for now and plans for the future, who positively impacts different generations and raises up other visionaries. Leaders of the future will have to be visionary and be able to bring people in, real communicators. These are things that women bring to leadership and executive positions, and it is going to be incredibly valuable and incredibly in demand. Prison itself is a tremendous education in the need for patience and perseverance. It is above all a test of one's commitment. If you are working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. Everything you can imagine is real. Don't find fault, find a remedy. Leadership is a potent combination of strategy and character, but if you must be without one, be without the strategy. Character in leadership is the most important balance for leadership. Without character, leaders have no safety. Leadership has no protection without character. Without a strong visionary leadership, no strategy will be executed effectively. A visionary may see, but a leader must decide. A name given to successful people who didn't listen when they were called delusional. Be a visionary, focused upon your ability to create your desires within your reality. Vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just passes the time. Vision with action can change the world. Visionaries look into the future and see things not through the lens of current reality, but through the lens of future possibility. Honorable viewers, change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. A soul that is kind and intense justice discovers more than any sophist. Abuse of words has been the great instrument of sophistry and chicanery of party, function, and division of society. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. University is inclined to sophistry and affectation. I am definitely on the incline to a peak. Some people will talk to you in their free time, and some people will free their time to talk to you. Learn the difference. Some talk to you in their free time, and some free their time to talk to you. Learn the difference. Respect those who talk to you in their free time, but love those who free their time to talk to you. Life need not be easy, provided only that it is not empty. Desire is proof of the availability. Don't desire to fit it, desire to lead. Dare to desire, dare to do. Dare to be you. Dare to question. Dare to seek answers to your questions. When you speak, ask questions, don't lecture. The talent should speak for itself. I let the performance speak for itself. Talk about yourself as much as you like, but don't expect others to listen. Don't let them make you doubt yourself. All the greatest visionaries in history have been told they were insane at some point. Don't doubt yourself. There are plenty of people who will do that for you. Just be yourself. The minute you start being yourself, you are gonna win. Never say anything about yourself you don't want to come true. Don't ever say anything negative about yourself. If you can't say something nice about a person, go ahead. I found that often just when you think you have hit a wall, you experience a breakthrough that takes you to new heights in accomplishment. Never ask anyone to do what you haven't done before and wouldn't do again. That's a pretty fundamental rule in leadership. Treat them like you treat yourself. Things you don't like, they don't like. No, you won't always get exactly what you want, but remember this, there are lots of people who will never have what you have right now. If you just go with the flow, no matter what weird things happen along the way, you always end up exactly where you belong. Flow with whatever may happen and let your mind be free. Stay centered by accepting whatever you are doing. This is the ultimate. Always remember that true happiness is not in getting what you want, but wanting what you already have. He who dies with the most toys is still dead. What is wanted is not the will to believe, but the will to find out, which is the exact opposite. If you want to become full, let yourself be empty. Anybody can be happy when things are going well, and I have learned that. But when things aren't going well, it draws out the inner warrior in us to radiate that and bring whatever happiness we can to the situation. Life happens to all of us. It's not what happens to us, but how we respond to what happens to us that really decides if we are going to be victims or if we are going to get and have everything we have ever dreamed of. That happiness is still the longest thrive where joys and griefs have turns alternative. Happiness doesn't come and go. What comes and goes is your attunement to happiness. Happiness must be grown in one's own garden. Happiness is often the result of being too busy to be miserable. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. When in doubt, choose change. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Honorable viewers, अगर आप मेरे चैनल को ग्रोथ देना चाहते हैं तो आप इस नीचे दिए गए सुपर थैंक्स बटन को क्लिक करके मेरे चैनल की मदद कर सकते हैं। शुक्रिया। Toxic people have no concept of boundaries. People who tend to have toxic behaviors might not be easy to spot, but aside from noting how they make you feel, there are a few signs to look for that indicate a person may be toxic. These signs include the following. Drama may follow them everywhere they go, and their life may seem to have the storyline of a TV soap opera. They can be masters of manipulation, yet you might not notice this until you witness them doing it to someone else. They might constantly judge others, including you. Their neediness may be suffocating, yet when you need them, they disappear. They may not see themselves as the problem. It may be everyone else's fault. I'll not allow anyone to walk in my mind with dirty feet. People inspire you or they drain you. Pick them wisely. If you are interacting with a person with toxic behaviors, you may feel confused and unsure of yourself. Leave the interaction feeling drained, angry, or full of anxiety. Feel bad about yourself in some way. Continually feel the need to help them. Notice that your boundaries aren't being respected or you are being manipulated. Experience guilt for saying no or feel they won't take no for a final answer. Feel like you are walking on eggshells around them. Frequently change your behavior to adapt. Negative people need drama like oxygen. Stay positive. It will take their breath away. You own everything that happened to you. Tell your stories. If people wanted you to write warmly about them, they should have behaved better. People inspire you or they drain you. Pick them wisely. Cutting people out of your life doesn't mean you hate them. It simply means you respect yourself. Not everyone is meant to stay. Life is short. Don't waste it with negative people who don't appreciate you. Keep them in your heart, but keep them out of your life. Tears are words from the heart that can't be spoken. There are no rules, just follow your heart. What happens when you lose your heart's desire? Never close your lips to those whom you have already opened your heart. Like arsenic, toxic people will slowly kill you. They kill your positive spirit and play with your mind and emotions. The only cure is to let them go. Losing toxic people is a win. Toxic people only change their victims, never themselves. Remember that. Never argue with stupid people because they will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. If they do it often, it isn't a mistake, it's just their behavior. Be a true heart, not a follower. All you had to do is open your heart just like you opened your legs, hoping you get all the gifts that your heart desires. The less you open your heart to others, the more your heart suffers. The love reflected from another person as its source in your own heart. Be careful what you set your heart upon, for it will surely be yours. Love is a person's idea about his or needs in another person what you are attracted to. I have learned that you cannot make someone love you. All you can do is be someone who can be loved. The rest is up to them. I learned that no matter how much I care, some people just don't care back, and it's not the end of the world. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If you have never felt that you quite got a hold of it, you just feel that before you die, you have got to try and get it right once, and hope that the experience you have makes up for the sum of the diminishing energy. In the space between yes and no, there is a lifetime. It is the difference between the path you walk and the one you leave behind. It's the gap between who you thought you could be and who you really are. It's the leg room for the lies you will tell yourself in the future. There are things in your life which you are in control of, and those you are not. You need to not care about those things which you are not in control of. And when you come to really understand that, you can go from being really upset about something to that lovely feeling of being a kid where everything is okay. There is something great in whatever you look at. Many people look but few people see. To leave a distinctive footprint, don't just look but see, for seeing will make you different. There is something great in whatever you look at. Many people look but few people see. To leave a distinctive footprint, don't just look but see, for seeing will make you different. Let everyone know I lived a very happy life. I know now that some people feel unhappiness the way others love, privately, intensely, and without recourse. I think we all have a lot of different personas inside of ourselves. What happens in life is that most people get caught up in presenting one persona that they feel safest in. The notion that any one person can describe what really happened is an absurdity. If 10 or 100 people witness an event, there will be 10 or 100 different versions of what took place. What we see and how we interpret it depends entirely upon our individual past experience. Never worry about anything. Live in the present. Live now. Be happy. One of the happiest moments in life is when you find the courage to let go of what you can't change. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. I have become the person I have always hated, but I am happier. When you put something out there into the world, there's all these words you don't want to hear that you hope people don't say. I don't like anything that starts with like retro, reinvent, recreate. I hate that. It's always like living in the past, copying, emulating. There is something great in whatever you look at. Many people look, but few people see. To leave a distinctive footprint, don't just look, but see, for seeing will make you different. An unhappy life is a life not lived. Most people are so busy knocking themselves out, trying to do everything they think they should. They never get around to do what they want to do. The less you respond to negative people, the more powerful your life will become. It's one thing if a person owns up to their behavior and makes an effort to change, but if a person disregards your feelings, ignores your boundaries, and continues to treat you in a harmful way, they need to go. Letting go of toxic people is self-care. Toxic people always act like they are the victim. When people treat you like you don't care, believe them. If you walked away from a toxic, negative, abusive, one-sided, dead-end, low-vibrational relationship or friendship, you won. Fools want to share their poison, but wise people prefer water. Respond intelligently even to unintelligent treatment. Toxic people are people who cause harm to another, often through emotional manipulation. When you love someone, you don't want them to suffer at all. There is someone that I love even though I don't approve of what he does. There is someone I accept though some of his thoughts and actions revolt me. There is someone I forgive though he hurts the people I love the most. That person is me. Love is only a small thing, enough for one person, and any suggestion that the heart might be larger than this is considered perverse. Honorable viewers, अगर आप मेरे चैनल को ग्रोथ देना चाहते हैं तो आप इस नीचे दिए गए सुपर थैंक्स बटन को क्लिक करके मेरे चैनल की मदद कर सकते हैं। शुक्रिया। Don't judge me, I was born to be true, not perfect. I don't understand why judges get paid so much. Others judge me for free. If you find it necessary to judge me by my past, don't be surprised when I find it necessary to put you there. If you judge me by my past, don't be surprised when you become part of it. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Many need no other provocation to enmity than that they find themselves excelled. We are taught to be ashamed of confusion, anger, fear, and sadness, and to me, they are of equal value of happiness, excitement, and inspiration. Don't doubt your own basic goodness. In spite of all confusion and fear, you are born with a heart that knows what is just, loving, and beautiful. Fear, anger, and hatred essentially come from a lack of perspective as to what life is all about. The truth may not set you free, but used carefully, it can confuse the hell out of your enemies. True True strength isn't being able to knock your enemies down, it's being able to hold yourself upright against their blows. You have enemies. Good. That means you have stood up for something sometime in your life. When there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot hurt you. When there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot hurt you. Rouse him and learn the principle of his activity or inactivity. Force him to reveal himself so as to find out his vulnerable spots. The quality of decision is like the well-timed swoop of a falcon, which enables it to strike and destroy its victim. In raiding and plundering, be like fire, in immovability like a mountain. Victory comes from finding opportunities in problems. Appear weak when you are strong and strong when you are weak. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. In all fighting, the direct method may be used for joining battle, but indirect methods will be needed to secure victory. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. Don't repeat the tactics which have gained you one victory, but let your methods be regulated by the infinite variety of circumstances. Engage people with what they expect. It is what they are able to discern and confirms their projections. It settles them into predictable patterns of response, occupying their minds while you wait for the extraordinary moment, that which they cannot anticipate. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him, pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. It is more important to outthink your enemy than to outfight him. It is more important to outthink your enemy than to outfight him. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom our real intent. There is an intelligent way to eat a live frog. I just don't know what it is. In warfare, there are no constant conditions. He who can modify his tactics in relation to his opponents will succeed and win. Every battle is won before it is fought. All war is based on deception. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float by. Don't cross the streams. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. Thus it is that in war the victorious strategist only seeks battle after the victory has been won, whereas he who is destined to defeat first fights and afterwards looks for victory. one mark of a great soldier is that he fight on his. Disguise your plans. When able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. Never trust a friend who is silent. If you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float by. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. Sweat more during peace, bleed less during war. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom our real intent. You have to believe in yourself. Be extremely subtle even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious even to the point of soundlessness. Thereby you can be the director of the opponent's fate. He will conquer who has learned the artifice of deviation, such as the art of maneuvering. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. There is no instance of a country having benefited from prolonged warfare. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. Know thyself, know thy enemy, 1,000 battles, 1,000 victories. He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not will be victorious. To win 100 victories in 100 battles is not the acme of skill. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the acme of skill. Energy may be likened to the bending of a crossbow, decision to the releasing of the trigger. All men can see these tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. The good fighters of all first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. Unhappy is the fate of one who tries to win his battles and succeed in his attacks without cultivating the spirit of enterprise, for the result is waste of time and general stagnation. Always forgive your enemies, nothing annoys them so much. The beauty of enmity is insecurity, the beauty of friendship is in security. Friends ask you questions, enemies question you. The New Deal's enmity for that system of free and competitive private enterprise which we call capitalism was fundamental. Between certainty and the real, an ancient enmity. We can struggle with what is, we can judge and blame others or ourselves, or we can accept what cannot be changed. Peace comes from an honorable and open heart, accepting what is true. Do we want to remain stuck or to release the fearful sense of self and rest kindly where we are? Don't judge me, you know my name. but not my story. Don't judge my choices if you don't understand my reasons. It's okay to judge me. Just remember to be perfect for the rest of your life. We are all different. Don't judge, understand instead. Don't judge people. You never know what kind of battle they are fighting. The biggest battle is the war against ignorance. Don't judge. Everyone has their challenges in life that you know nothing about. Sometimes we need to lose the small battles in order to win the war. From here begins the battle. Man's fate in battle is worked out before the war begins. Never trust a friend who is silent. You must not fight too often with one enemy, or you will teach him all your art of war. If everyone is thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking. As you get older, three things happen. The first is your memory goes, and I cannot remember the other two. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Our goals can only be reached through the vehicle of a plan. There is no other route to success. It is a pity that this faithful youth is sacrificed in a hopeless situation. We should have known better after the first war. Honorable viewers, अगर आप मेरे चैनल को ग्रोथ देना चाहते हैं तो आप इस नीचे दिए गए सुपर थैंक्स बटन को क्लिक करके मेरे चैनल की मदद कर सकते हैं।